Gear comes and goes, but after enough miles, the bag always settles into the same items that never get left behind. Here are the 12 travel essentials that earn their spot every single trip in 2026. Beat 1. Carry-on hard shell. Start with the obvious one, because nothing else matters if the suitcase fails. Carry-on travel has only gotten more important heading into 2026, with airlines tightening rules, checked bag fees climbing, and baggage claim becoming the last place anyone wants to stand after a long flight. The pick here is the July Carry-On Pro, which lands around $295 and has quietly become one of the most refined hard shells on the market. The polycarbonate shell shrugs off airport conveyor belts and curbs without cracking, yet the whole thing stays light enough to lift overhead one-handed. What really sells it is the ejectable battery built into the front, so a dead phone gets a fast top-up at the gate, then pops out before security in seconds. The wheels roll silent and straight, the handle locks without a wobble, and the interior keeps it simple with a compression panel and a zip divider. It clears standard cabin limits, which means it never gets a second glance at the gate. That reliability is exactly why it goes in first. Beat 2. Personal item backpack. With the suitcase sorted, the base setup needs a personal item, and a backpack wins for anyone who moves around a lot. It's more comfortable across a full travel day and far easier to live out of than a duffel. The standout lately is the Peak Design Travel Backpack 20-liter refresh that rolled out late in 2025, sitting around $190. It looks clean enough for a city and tough enough for a trail, with a weatherproof exterior that beads off rain instead of soaking through. The layout is where it shines. One deep main compartment, a dedicated padded laptop sleeve with a soft brushed lining, and the magnetic clip closures that let it expand or cinch down depending on the load. The material has held up trip after trip without scuffing, the zippers still glide, and nothing inside rattles loose. A duffel still makes sense in winter when a bulky jacket needs to ride along, and something like the Monos Metro duffel around $200 covers that with strong zippers and a luggage sleeve. Either way, a solid personal item is non-negotiable. Beat 3. Two-part toiletry system. Here's the one most people underestimate until it ruins a hotel bathroom. The fix is a two-part toiletry setup, a clear bag for flights and short trips, and a hanging organizer for everything longer. The BagSmart hanging toiletry kit covers both for under $50 and has become the easy default. The clear pouch holds a toothbrush, paste, travel bottles, and soap sheets. And on a quick overnight, that alone gets the job done. The hanging bag is the real upgrade though. It unrolls, hooks onto any towel bar, and suddenly every product sits in plain view instead of buried in a side pocket. There are structured compartments, a zip pouch for small items, and enough rigidity that it holds its shape on the hook. No wet sinks, no digging around at 6 a.m. before a flight. If only a hanging bag is needed, the standalone versions run closer to the same price on their own, so the kit is the smarter buy. This is the item that quietly smooths out the entire morning routine. Beat 4. MagSafe Power Bank. Battery rules at airports keep tightening, which makes a good power bank more essential than ever. There are plenty of decent options, but the most reliable pick remains Anker, and the standout is the Anker Mago 10K released in the 2025 refresh. It snaps magnetically onto the back of a phone, so there's no cable to fish out, no port to fumble with, just a clean attach and go. The 10,000 mAh capacity is the sweet spot, roughly 2 full phone charges with enough left for earbuds while staying slim enough to pocket. It even has a small kickstand built into the back, so the phone props up for a movie while it charges. Bringing it through security has never been an issue, since it sits well under the watt-hour limits airlines care about. Price runs between $50 and $80 depending on the deal, and the build quality has always justified it. A phone always dies at the worst possible moment, usually right when a boarding pass or a map is needed most, and this is the insurance against exactly that. Beat 5. Merino t-shirt. This next one actually shrinks the packing list instead of adding to it, a single merino wool t-shirt. The go-to is from Western Rise, around $55, built from a merino blend that survives heavy travel. The reason it earns a permanent spot is simple. Merino is naturally odor resistant, so it can be worn several days running without smelling off, which means 1 or 2 shirts replace the usual stack of 4. That's real space saved. It regulates temperature too, staying cool in heat and holding warmth when it turns cold, and it looks like a perfectly normal normal t-shirt rather than something technical or gym flavored. Fit runs true across a wide size range, so most builds are covered from small up through the larger sizes. Beyond the comfort, this is one of those rare pieces that doesn't just upgrade the kit, it reduces how much needs to go in the bag in the first place. Beat 6, 3-in-1 charging stand. Halfway through, and this one is a genuine upgrade, especially since it doubles as a home charger too. Instead of 3 separate cables tangled across a nightstand, one folding pad handles everything. The pick is the ESR Halo Lock 3-in-1, which collapses flatter than most competitors and slides into a tech pouch without a fight. Open it up and it charges a phone, a smartwatch, and earbuds at the same time off a single cable. The magnets grip firmly, the phone snaps into place, and it works in portrait or landscape, so a video keeps playing while it powers up. The real magic shows up in a hotel or Airbnb with exactly one free outlet, where this turns a charging bottleneck into a non-issue. Everything in this script is linked in the description, and buying through those links supports the channel at no extra cost. A more detailed breakdown of this one lives on the second channel for anyone who wants the deep dive. Beat 7, foldable day pack. Why bring a second bag inside the first one? Because the moment of arrival is when a small day pack earns its keep. Whether it's day trips from a home base, weekend city wandering, or a short hike, a light packable backpack makes all of it easier, and when it's not needed, it folds down and disappears. The two that keep winning are the Matador Freefly 16 and the Osprey Ultralight Stuff Pack. The Matador is the premium option around $75, with more structure and tougher fabric for heavier loads or frequent use. For most people though, the Osprey around $45 is the smarter pick. It's lighter, packs down to nearly the size of a fist, and still carries comfortably for a full day out. The only minor gripe is that wide water bottles can occasionally slip from the side pockets, but a slimmer bottle sits fine. Either way, this adds total flexibility to a trip without eating any real space in the main bag. Beat 8, refillable bottles and soap case. 2 items here, but they share one job, killing the full-size bottle problem. Once the miles add up, hauling big shampoo and soap containers stops making sense, especially flying, where they turn into a security headache. The fix is a set of Cadence silicone magnetic capsules paired with a Matador flat pack soap case. The Cadence capsules click together magnetically, are completely leak-proof, and each holds enough body wash or shampoo for about a week. They're refillable, easy to label, and far cleaner than the cheap squeeze bottles that always seem to leak. For bar soap, the Matador case runs around $15 and is worth it, but breathable, so the soap dries instead of turning to mush in the bag. Roll it, clip it, done, and it shrinks to match whatever soap is left inside rather than wasting space like a rigid case. Together, this combo makes the toiletry side of packing dramatically more compact. Beat 9, foldable water bottle. Water is the one need that shows up on literally every trip at the airport, across a city, or out on a trail, and buying plastic bottles over and over gets old fast. The answer is a foldable water bottle, and the pick is the K collapsible bottle. The larger size works for big days, but for most people, the smaller version is easier to carry around daily. The appeal is simple. Full, it behaves like a normal bottle, and empty, it rolls down to almost nothing, which is a huge win when packing space is tight. It's light, durable, and practical in nearly any travel situation, around $25 to $30, which is fair for something used this constantly. The only time a hard bottle wins out is on very short trips or a road trip, where something rigid like an Awala Free Sip rides better in a cup holder. For everything else, the foldable one goes in. Beat 10, compression packing cubes. Next up are compression packing cubes, and even people already using regular cubes are missing out without the compression zip. Standard cubes separate clothes, so a suitcase doesn't dissolve into chaos after day 1, which is great, but the compression layer actually reduces how much room those clothes take, especially soft items like t-shirts, hoodies, and lighter layers. The set in rotation is from Peak Design, with a medium for shirts and pants and a small for underwear and socks. Pack it, zip it shut, then cinch the compression flap down and watch the stack shrink. On longer trips, that adds up to a surprising amount of reclaimed space, and it keeps everything sorted so there's no digging through a suitcase every morning. A 2-cube set runs around $60, which isn't cheap, but for anyone traveling regularly, it pays for itself fast. Beat 11, minimalist wallet. The wallet that made the cut is the Ridge Slim wallet, and it's been in the pocket for years now. The old everyday wallet, stuffed with loyalty cards, receipts, and random clutter, turns into a disaster the moment travel starts. Switching to something minimal fixed that. This one is barely larger than a credit card, weighs almost nothing, and still holds anywhere from 4 to around 12 cards depending on setup. There's a metal card holder body with an elastic band, plus a cash strap or money clip option for folded bills or a spare key. The whole design flexes to match what's actually being carried instead of forcing a brick into the pocket. After heavy use, it still snaps tight and holds shape. Around $95 for the aluminum version, it's not trying to be a luxury piece, and that's the point. Light, functional, and built for travel, it just makes more sense than a bulky billfold. Beat 12, Compact Travel Adapter. Last on the main list is a small one that punches above its size, a compact travel charger. The pick is the Anker Prime 67 watts with folding plug, slim enough to vanish into a pocket and powerful enough to handle a laptop. It connects up to 3 cables at once, so one little block replaces the pile of bulky single port chargers from Apple or Samsung. Those stock chargers are larger and usually offer 1 port. This one does the work of all of them in a fraction of the footprint. The output stays strong across all 3 ports. GaN-Tech keeps it cool, and it ships with a solid USB-C cable, around $60, which is normal for this tier, and the reliability has always made it worth the spend. It's the kind of unglamorous item that quietly keeps the whole setup running. And that's the full setup. If this one was useful, the video on the left dives into even more travel gear and packing setups. Not subscribed yet? The button is right here on the right side. Thanks a lot for watching all the way through, and as always, safe travels.